Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 6 of my Valentine card series. Sorry I was not able to post my 2 videos last week. I got the flu and it turned into a sinus infection and I completely lost my voice on top of feeling yucky. So I got some antibiotics, but my voice is still a little off. I apologize for that and my cough, but let's get into this card. It was so fun and I just love how it turned out. So here I am using a die set by Sizzix, an envelope liners die, and I use that little heart die repeatedly on that background to create that background die look. And then I use my EK Tools scoring board here and my Teflon bone folder to crease a piece of Cougar cardstock at 5.5 inches. I used my guillotine paper trimmer to trim that die cut panel down to a 4 by 5.25 inch panel. I kind of wanted that tone on tone background. I thought it would make it add a lot of interest, but not so much that it slaps you in the face. So here I'm using my stamp positioning tool and this stamp set by My Mind's Eye Sweet Shop. I will be using that Gumball machine image, and I go ahead and place that in there, and I will be using some Memento London Fog ink. I wanted it to look almost like it was silver, so I used gray instead of black. So I went ahead and stamped that down a couple of times. And when I'm happy with the coverage that I got with it, then I go ahead and use some squid inks. The colors Mermaid Eyes, Blue Marlin, Sunburnt, Sea Anemone, and Scallop Shell. I'm using an acrylic block and the little Gumball image from that set. And I use each color and stamp it repeatedly to give the illusion that that gumball machine is filled with colorful gumballs. And then I will be using some of my Prismacolor colored pencils, 928, 929, and 930, to give that gumball machine some shading, make it look a little bit more dimensional. So I'm using that darkest 930 here on the edges and blend that out with my 929, and from there the lightest color is 928. I just thought that the pink would be a little bit of a different change from the typical red gumball machine, and it fit a little bit more with the Valentine's theme, I felt like. And then I just used my Wink of Stella glitter pen on top of the little mechanism parts of that to make them look all shiny and shimmery. And then I took a pair of scissors and fussy cut those out, the gumball machine out. When I finish with that, I use my Whitelotus stitched circle dies, and I will die cut a circle from that leftover cardstock that the gumball machine was stamped and colored from. I wanted to have a little bit of a focal point for that gumball machine to sit on, and here I'm adding some foam tape to the back of that gumball machine and trimming the excess off with my scissors. So I'll go ahead and remove that release paper and then place that on top of that stitched circle die cut. And when I finished with that, I will use those squid inks again, and there were some heart images from that die set that I pulled out. And I will stamp 3 hearts on the right hand side of that gumball machine and 2 on the left hand side. That first color is Sea Anemone, and then I'm using Scallop Shell, and then Mermaid Eyes. And then on the other side at the bottom, I use that Mermaid Eyes and then the Sea Anemone above it. So on the back of that die cut panel, I just used some Tombow mono liquid adhesive. I wanted that one to be adhered flat onto the card base. So here I'm placing that down, trying to make sure that the edges are all lined up with the outside of the card base. And then I add some foam tape to the back of that stitched circle die cut, and then I will pop that up onto that card base, just trying to line up that circle where I felt like I wanted it more towards the top. And then I'm bringing in this Lawn Fawn Mom and Me stamp set. I just wanted that sentiment "Your" down at the bottom. I will stamp that in that Memento London Fog ink. And then I will be using my Tim Holtz craft ruler, and I will be using that metal side and my craft knife to trim that out. I've been doing this a lot lately and find it a lot easier than trying to trim it with a paper trimmer, and it's been fun, so until I get bored with it, I guess I'll keep using the ruler and craft knife. So here I just try to make that a little bit more square. And I've got some silver glitter cardstock and a sentiment that says Sweet by Sizzix, and I die cut that from that glitter cardstock. So I will hold that with my EK Tools tweezers and add that same Tombow liquid glue to the back of it and place that underneath of my die cut circle. And when I have finished with that, I use some foam tape on the back of that Your sentiment and place that over top of the S on the Sweet die cut. And that finishes my card for this video. Thank you so much for watching. This is one of my favorites so far in this series, and I just had so much fun creating it. If you have any techniques or ideas that you'd like me to try, just leave a comment down below and I'll try to make it happen. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.